Hey guys, this is Diamondcello, and today we're going to be talking about this mother, the sick, and his name, and I've mentioned him in my reacting to lolcows videos, for him having positive thoughts about lolly, which is basically naked children. So, um, without further ado, let's begin.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I'm tuning in to expose your pedo ass.
I would like to talk about my stance on lolly in this video.
Spoiler, he thinks that it's okay to masturbate to children.
Elaborating on a take I made the other day, which says I've had some people tagging me to lolly stuff for days, and I think I need to remind some people my stance on lolly stuff.
However, I won't defend NSFW lolly. That's based. You shouldn't do that.
Example, I reported on how far people went on TikTok when celebrating the Kyoani arson that led to 36 deaths because they hated the lolly character Kana in Dragon Maid. However, I won't defend NSFW lolly / actual lollycon stuff, so you're tagging the wrong dude, and thank you for respecting my opinion. So this is mostly an update on my stance on this for newer viewers who may not have heard what I said on this topic before, because
once again, spoiler, he thinks that jerking off to children is okay.
Even videos from like 2 years ago, it's very similar to the stance I have now, where I basically say that I'm not into this stuff, I don't really want anything to do with it, but I do think people should use their very limited time and energy on this planet helping actual children out there, because going after...
Here we fucking go. Actual children. My mom works at a daycare, and she's gonna probably beat your ass. Even if he doesn't watch it, he's still advocating for it, which is stupid. No, it's sick and illegal, and I'll explain that later on.
Artists, I've seen no evidence of that having a correlation to helping actual children.
Once again, with the actual children, dude, it's still children. What are you to an image of? A child. Animated or not, it's still a child. Like, YouTube wants to take down predator channels like DAP, Skeeter Gene, Colorado Pet Patrol, Predator Catchers PA, and 3 of them got their channels terminated for actually helping children. But this guy is still on YouTube, and he's like, hey, it's okay to masturbate to children, and he's not getting terminated. Like, that's hypocritical, YouTube. Like, what's your stance on pedophilia, YouTube? This Indian guy who's running YouTube is not helping, because he was Susan's partner in crime, so yeah. But anyways,
And or it seems like helping actual children and going after actual predators is a better use of time. Easier said than done, right? I'm not expecting people to go like...
yeah, it's not only you should go after predators, but you should go after people who think it's okay to masturbate to a drawing of a child. And there's people on Twitter who argue that. People say, lolicons say that they link, this is pathetic and sad. They link child abuse, not child abuse. They link links to fundraisers to help actual children, and then they Yeah, the lolly accounts do that, and then they go back to masturbating to children. There's there's no difference. It's still it's still a child.
Full vigilante going after chomos, as cool as that would
Yeah, you're the chomo. You, by the sound of your voice, you sound like a Discord moderator.
be. Like, I'm not advocating that. I'm not trying to, advocate anything illegal or anything like that, obviously.
I could picture you 550 pounds, shirtless, because none of the shirts fit you, even the XXXLs, peach fuzz beard, glasses, and a balding head. You kind of look like Boogie or Review Tech USA. Even though I don't care about those YouTubers.
But here's an example of something legal that people can do. The people that are so anti-lolly, perhaps they should use their time and energy talking about news reports of actual child predators out there, particularly when politicians or people in places of power have been caught doing such.
That's pretty ironic, because I swear I saw an article from a guy in Canada who's been put on the registry. Wait, no, that was UK. But in Canada, the guy got arrested because they found gigabytes or megabytes, whatever, of fictional CP on his hard drive. It's stricter in Canada than it is in the US, which is pretty fucking sad, but it can happen. And you're pretending that doesn't exist. You're like, it's like if Grand Theft Auto actually taught people, hey, it's okay to, do this and do that, rob a bank and Cash App hacking. Well, Grand Theft Auto doesn't teach Cash App hacking, but anyways. But that's not Rockstar's intent. But he thinks that doesn't happen, but it does. And you're literally pointing your viewers to say, hey, it's okay to do a crime. Like, even if people claim that the Protect Act is gone, like repealed, the courts can still deem your fictional drawings as obscene. It's literally on the Congress website, which I'll show later. But anyways, let's continue.
Because it disturbingly happens pretty frequently, but also disturbingly, that stuff doesn't get talked about much at all. So it would be great if the anti-lolly people...
It does get talked about. You don't watch the news. Now you're pretending that kidnappings don't happen. Oh wait, no, he's talking about... They do report on kidnappings. And they do report on school shootings. They still do that. I don't know where you're getting your information from.
People would start talking about that sort of news instead. I think that'd be better. That's just one suggestion. And for the record, I'm not just like preaching at people, saying that, because I've done that myself, even here on my channel, which is mostly about like anime and gaming stuff. I've taken actual risks by talking about this stuff on YouTube. I have talked about politicians who are caught on both sides of the aisle with varying degrees of charges of sexual exploitation.
But that doesn't make it okay for you to advocate for people who to drawings of children. That no bueno, my friend.
Of that age
no
group.
bueno, amigo.
Word it a little carefully here on YouTube. I'm talking about minors, though. There you go. Sometimes the algorithm gets weird when you say that stuff too close together. Hopefully it's fine now. It's already a very like very, very messed up topic and one that makes me uncomfortable talking about. And then I also, on top of that, have to worry about like the algorithm too, so it's kind of a headache. Regardless, I still talked about that stuff on my channel before. I think some of these anti-lolly people can make some tweets about the news, right? I risked a lot more than they are, so that's the least they could do. And
At least they actually report on real child crimes instead of you. All you talk about is anime and Genshin Impact basement dwelling, toilet shit smearing. You get the picture.
And then obviously not terrible things being done to children, but my community and I, we've also raised around $20,000, just over $20,000 now actually, and still going.
You're a hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite, dude. You say you help children, but yet you're deemed to... Look. You have a crush on a child. Pedophilia. You want to have the sex with them. Pedophilia. And yet you're two-faced and you turn around and you help them. Like, you're gonna end up like Jared from Subway. He was in elementary schools talking to children about being healthy, and then he just decided to the R word them. And funny thing is, they actually have SD card sniffing dogs, and they found at least a few SD cards with 500 gigabytes of cheese pizza. So
to help critically ill children. Now, while that's obviously a different topic, as I mentioned,
it still doesn't help the fact that I'm not gonna repeat myself.
Point is, we're still doing what we can to help actual children. Unfortunately, I'm not...
Once again, you're two-faced.
I'm talking about the anti-lolly people just yet, and part of the reason why I'm so critical on them is because, like I said, I would much prefer them to use their time and energy helping actual children.
No, they're trying to help you get sheared away from sexual fantasies about children. But yet, you think they're dumb because it's just a cartoon.
As opposed to making some like trendy tweet against art to get a bunch of likes on Twitter and then displaying no care at all for, real children. But anyways, there's been a very concerning trend with lots of those type of people, like the anti-lolly people on like Twitter, for example, where they will make a viral thread against lolly and then they get exposed for being actual lollicons. This happens all the time, and it happens.
Well, it could happen, but it doesn't help. Dude, where the fuck are you going with this?
Happened just the other day. For example, the VTuber who went on Reddit, and they also went on Twitter and said this stuff too, but they also made a Reddit post on a certain subreddit that had like 3,000 plus upvotes where they accused Pika of being a lolicon, essentially. And then
the 3,000 upvotes are based. Fucking kill him.
Person was caught having NSFW lolicon art in their likes. And Discord logs came out of that person as well. I don't know if the Discord log part is true, but if those messages are true, they were also advocating for mature encounters with minors IRL. Yeah. Another example of this is this dude Silly Rally, who actually made a video on me trying to expose me for like stuff that I publicly said in videos from like 2020. I don't really know what he was getting at. It was like,
well, you're still doing it now. If you still haven't changed, then yes, 2020 could still be present. So I don't blame that guy.
Kind of weird. It was actually really, really weird. Weird video, even weirder guy, because part of the stuff he said in his video was that I need to get laid. He said that about me. And then
well, if you're... I don't know.
Other people exposed him. Shouts out to those people who looked into this stuff, man. I bet it was not fun to look into this at all. but that Silly Rally guy got exposed for trying to groom a minor. There's also been numerous...
Well, yeah, that is disgusting, but it still doesn't help the fact that it's a cartoon or whatever.
Super Smash Bros. Like pro players who made like anti-lolly tweets and then got caught trying to do the same thing with minors, like all that sort of stuff. When I laugh, then it's like a very nervous, disgusted laugh, by the way. Like, yeah, it's not like, haha.
You should laugh at yourself, buddy.
Funny. It's like, dude, this is a disgusting topic. Yeah, I don't like talking about this. Even right now, as I speak, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber who made an anti-lolly tweet about card art the other day. But then, like, the day before that, he posted his own playmat for Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's got, like, an even more explicit lolly character on that playmat. I might make a video about that. Like, I don't want beef with this dude. I don't want to be talking about this stuff. It's so annoying, man. But, like, how are you going to complain about lolly card art and then you literally bought a playmat that has worse card art on it? Like, the hypocrisy is so insane with these people.
Still doesn't make it okay to... I'm not gonna repeat myself.
And so, again, let me remind you, like, my base level stance on this is it's better to help actual children, okay?
I really want to say the funny KYS word, but YouTube won't allow it. So, you're a hypocrite. You're saying to help children, yet you advocate for people to off to them. What's your problem, buddy? Seriously, YouTube can't terminate this dude? That fucking Indian guy is not doing his job.
Okay, so if I'm spending a lot of my time in this video talking about anti-lolly people and the mistakes that they're making, it's because, once again, I think it's the third time I'm going to say it now, I would much rather see them use their time and effort to genuinely want to help children, but they don't do that, and they don't come off like they genuinely care. And
there are some that actually do help children. You're just trying to hide from becoming a pedophile or a map. I'll never watch Dora the Explorer ever again without thinking about minor attracted person because of people like you.
in some of the worst examples, they literally are the lolicons that they claim to be against. So obviously the stuff does need to be addressed. Like, I can very easily say, I don't like the lolly stuff, please don't tag me, right? That conversation is done. But then we have all this other stuff to unpack, and that's why it's taking this long. There's even more examples. I'm not done yet. We got to keep talking a little bit. One of the big topics we still need to talk about regarding this whole topic, that was not the best phrasing, but you'll see what I mean, is Japan and actual crime statistics. So we'll get to that. A quick...
Oh boy. He's gonna talk about how Japan... I forgot. He'll explain.
Side note before we do. There's also been an issue with people accusing others of being like actual pedos when it's like not the definition of such.
Yes, it is. If you like a child, doesn't matter if it's a cartoon or not, it's still a child. You're a pedophile. You like minors. How does that not get through your head, buddy? People just need to fucking...
And I really think this is a word that should not be watered down. I think it's probably not a good idea to water down any word, but maybe someone could give me an example where I'd be like, okay, fair enough on that one. But like, pedo certainly is not a word that you should be watering down, in my opinion. I don't think anyone can change my mind on that.
Maybe if you get handcuffed and interrogated about your hard drive, then maybe, just maybe, your mind will be changed. like I said, he doesn't actually masturbate to lolly, but he still says, "Oh, it's okay to look at child cheese pizza."
That word is very serious, and it should be reserved
Yeah, it's very serious. No shit, Sherlock. We need to help the children.
for the people that, some of the worst, most awful people in the universe. That's the word we use for them. It should not be being misappropriately or misapplied, you know what I mean? So, again, I apologize if I'm, like, messing my words up and whatnot. I really don't like talking about this stuff, but it's not about me, to be quite frank. It's about the children out there, and sometimes adults got to make sacrifices like this. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable talking about it, but you know what? It's worse for kids that are being preyed on. I also just...
It's still predatory, even for... Not gonna repeat myself.
have a particularly hard stance against this stuff because of the way I was brought up. My mom and my grandma, who raised me, they raised me with great morals. Part of that was the...
Well, that didn't fucking work. Look at you now. You're advocating for Club Penguin, cheese pizza, Children of the Corn, whatever you want to call it.
line you've probably all heard: you don't hurt women, you don't hurt children, right? Keep in mind, I was a child being taught this stuff.
And he's going to talk about a shitty movie that he watched.
And finally, there is the discussion I mentioned about crime statistics. Now, admittedly, it's been a little while since I looked into according to my recollection, when, let's obviously preface this by saying when lolly gets brought up, it obviously ties Japan in oftentimes, and people will use that argument to criticize Japan, which, fair enough, that's fine. The issue I have, though, is a lot of those people I've seen come from countries where they have worse crime statistics of the same crimes against children, this sort of exploitation regarding mature NSFW, you get the point, right? So it just comes off a bit hollow when people from countries that have worse stats of those crimes against children criticize Japan because of lolly art.
Well, that's fine. If children are getting hurt, then they have a right to speak up about it.
I can understand people not liking it. I can understand it making them uncomfortable. As I said, I don't with it at all. But
Okay, let's just skip about the Japan shit.
Authenticity is there because that's like a trendy thing to do on Twitter, and it's gonna net you like 20k likes, 30k likes, whatever. It's concerning. There's also been this weird dishonesty from Western media on this topic as well. For example, when Vice came out with a video talking about Japan's alleged issue with exploitation of children in this manner, and they interviewed the Japanese politician Minoru Ogino, and the interview happened and all that, and then apparently he wasn't informed that interview was going into this video. Not only did they then put it into this video, but arguably more important, they actually edited the footage to make it have this weird dark vibe. Ogino himself actually addressed this on Twitter. He came out with the statement against Vice, essentially saying that they edited the footage, they made the room look all dark. They tried to make him look like some like evil Yakuza figure, essentially. It was like his wording, basically, at least according to the translation and my recollection of it. So it's just really, really weird that they do these weird things like that to try and like frame a specific narrative against Japan, when again, I'm not like here just to defend Japan. Again, I'm coming from the base level of trying to protect actual children.
You are not. I haven't seen... I looked. Trust me, I looked. I haven't seen anywhere where he...
And considering there's so many countries that are worse, it just seems weird to go after Japan in this way and like to manipulate the footage and whatnot. But a different point I'd like to raise is I did a search for Vice on their website, a search through Vice's articles for politicians that have been caught exploiting kids, and for some reason, at least, I couldn't find Vice talking about that stuff. So it's odd to me that American politicians on the left and right have been caught with exploitation of children in the manner that y'all know we're talking about. There's a certain word I'm leaving out there. Gotta be careful with this video. I'm already worried this video is going to get hit. I mean, we'll see. But I just find it very concerning and very dishonest and shady, and whatever word you want to use, that Vice would frame a specific narrative against Japan on this topic, and then apparently intentionally avoid covering news regarding American politicians on the left and right who were caught with varying degrees of charges regarding this topic. It seems like they don't actually care about helping children from predators, and they care more about covering for politicians. So,
well, yeah, that does suck, and you're probably one of them.
but yeah, there's basically a lot of concerning things regarding this topic, and a lot of the people who say that they're anti-lolly are caught being lolicons and or...
I actually had 2 girlfriends, so... you could suck my wiener.
don't care about actual children and instead use like real children, victims, real child victims. They use them as leverage for their arguments while displaying no actual care for them.
Well, I'm pretty sure they actually do care for... You're just saying shit. Because you want... Whatever, dude.
Which, like I said, is all very concerning, to say the least. But I'll leave it there, man. It's a rough topic. Glad to move on from this. Look, it's like what I said in a prior video.
Well, that art is not for me. I still he's... Even though he's still... Ugh. You know what? Let's just get to the end of the video. Let's see. Just gonna look up something real quick. Justice.gov. Here we fucking go. This is the official justice website, DOJ. And let's look. Here we go. Here's the magic. In addition, Section 1466A of Title 8, United States Code, makes it illegal for any person to knowingly produce, distribute, receive... Is my head blocking the what? No. I'll just move this real quick. There we go. Distribute, receive, or possess with intent to transfer or distribute visual... voice crack. Representations such as, look, drawings, cartoons, paintings that appear to depict minors engaged in sexual explicit conduct and are deemed obscene. There you fucking go. And then the Miller test. They test if it's obscene or not. So, let's see. The matter involving a minor can be deemed obscene if it, depicts an image that is or appears to be a minor engaged in graphic, human and dog, sadistic, masochistic abuse, or doing your mom, and if the image lacks serious... This is the big one. If the image lacks serious literacy, artistic, or political or scientific value. So, So, the Nirvana Nevermind cover with the baby with his bazinga showing, that is for artistic purposes. The dude tried to sue Nirvana for CP, but this argument was brought up and I don't know if it's still going on. Uh, but anyways, it has to have literacy, artistic, political, or scientific value. If it's Timmy Turner getting in the butt by his dad, that's incest. If it's that, then yes, that is illegal. Let's see. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Kappa. Nah. What's this page helpful? Updated November 9th, 2021. So, it's still a thing. It's still a thing, guys. And people say that it's not, and that it's fucking, out of date. But the truth is, it's still there. It's still there. And even a Reddit user admitted that part of the Protect Act is still in law. So, for the people who saying that it's okay to, wean your ween to little children, then that's disgusting. And yes, you should be prosecuted for it. And in Florida, guess what? They're gonna pass a law that says if you're a danger to children, you get the chair. Yes, that is a real article. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, let's see. New York Post. Hopefully it's free. Because sometimes they have a stupid banner that says, you gotta pay for this. Okay, let's see. Florida passes bill allowing death penalty for child you-know-what abusers. Florida lawmakers... the bipartisan proposal, which passed... Ooh, even Democrats voted for this shit. Will also allow juries to hand on death sentences for votes at least 8-4 after previously requiring unanimity. The bill, which passed in the Florida House of Representatives 95-14 last week, and which Ron DeSantis is expected to sign, would apply to those convicted of abusing a child under the age of 12. I don't actually think this applies to serial you-know-what. So not lolly. Oh, this is a good quote. Once a predator has a child ensnared, they will harm the child over and over and over again. Which is true, you can't cure it. Like, you could... Even chemical castration doesn't work. Or they chop off your balls. Or whatever they do. Pedophile behavior... Okay. So yeah, that wraps it up. Um, I am going to moderate the comments because I don't want any sick fucks to prove me wrong. Which it is obvious. Like, it's obvious. And they just deny because they want a good whatever. I'm diving cello. Have a good night.